Okay. It doesn't share my screen. It just shows that particular app, correct?
I have no idea about it.
Hey, I see. I had to move over to see all three of us. Yeah, I got you. I'm good.
Yeah, I figured it out too. That's what I was working on. I was over here lost. I was focused. I was over here clicking shit.
Well, I'm on the phone, pulled over the side of the road in the park. So, and then the laptop. I need to be, I'll get better organized where I can get into my environment.
I feel that environment is key.
Yeah, my job don't work like that right now. I just got to go where the money goes. So,
Oh yeah, facts. I
Why
just
you
got
got
a decent little
haircut
spot,
though?
little situation working for a school district, but
yeah, they
it's
don't,
Right.
yeah, they
I
don't
ain't been to
pay
work in
it's
teachers a
about
it's
lot.
what
it's
today?
hit or
43
miss. But
days.
I'm a district employee now, so people think I'm a big wig. But
Hey, you coming back home soon? I need people home. I need good people surrounded home. I got a lot to
mm,
do.
heck yeah,
Some of the
mm,
counties is kind of crazy in the school district. So
it's like that. It's so many school districts. I worked in all three surrounding areas, and they all got their own shit, bro.
I
You
can
already know.
imagine. Yeah, I can imagine. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy, but
So
I'm good. So we can go around to Renee good because I mean I'm just gonna hit it right off the head. A lot of things have changed. A lot of more videos and information has come out. So we
Yeah, a lot
talking
of stuff
about
has
it.
come out. I mean, we can. I think it came out in my favor. Just saying.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, the officer did suffer. What is it? Internal bleeding, and if you look at like the wound shots, right? Not the wound shots. If you look at like the officer in his like the last 60 days, 6 months, my bad, of like what's happened. Like he clearly had some fear of being hit by a car because he was drugged by a car, 6 months prior. So I just feel like
You had a little PTSD.
I won't say it's necessarily PTSD, but he was
Trauma
thinking
is
of what
trauma.
he was thinking about what could happen if like he's like, okay, well, this happened before. So there's a chance it could happen again.
It happened again.
On top of the fact, like I'm willing to blame 90% of the situation on Renee Good's wife because she the one that told her to drive.
Okay.
I think she should go to jail for accessory.
Holy. Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's that's kind of crazy. Did you know since Department of Justice lawyers quit because they wouldn't investigate the wife instead of the whole thing? You know that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, okay. I mean, those are guys who've been in law for the last 25, 30. I think they had 180 combined years between them, and they quit. People that do this for a living quit because the case was so skewed. I mean, that's got to mean something, right?
Yeah. No, I mean you got to think like people aren't impartial at all. Like they could have done it for some reason where they could have been like they wanted it to go this side. What if you look even
They
deeper
they
into
they
it, like what are
cited
their political
they
views, stuff
they
like that.
they cited their reasons because the Department of Justice wanted to investigate the widow, like you said that heh, she should go to jail. They want to investigate the widow and not the officer. They didn't want to investigate everything. They just want to investigate the widow. That's why they quit. They stated that.
Well, internal affairs is going to investigate every single shooting.
So what now?
Internal affairs is going to investigate every single shooting. Like the common misconception is when a police officer still kills someone in the line of duty, it still counts as murder. Like that's why the dude drove away because like he still has paperwork he has to do. He's still probably not going to go to work. there's still going to be some kind of investigation for the justification of why he did it. It's just going to be done by other federal agents.
I mean, he was working the next day
Because
when he was pulling everything out of his house. He was working, and you said, let's go back to that. He was pulling everything out of his house the next day. You said he suffered internal bleeding. I mean, I flipped over in a car 6 times, fell through a couple of walls, fell off the back of a dock, hit me down for a little bit. Internal bleeding is one of those things that it hurts. You don't just go back to work the next day pulling stuff out your house. It's just not. It's just
I
not
mean, I
something
feel
that
like
happens.
it's person dependent. I mean, I had four herniated
Eh,
discs when I was in a foreign country, and I still hiked with 100 pounds on my back. It
how many
hurt
days? How many days were you?
for
It
like
was
20 days
during.
before I came
Okay,
back. It
gotcha.
hurt,
So,
but the
but
job got to get done.
but this dude suffered life-threatening injuries from internal bleeding from a car that we clearly know didn't hit him. I mean, that's there's 100 angles to that video now, and there was no impact there to warrant internal bleeding, let alone a lengthy hospital stay. I mean, he walked away from the scene. He actually said "fucking bitch" after he shot her. So I don't know, man. I've been in a couple of injuries in my life. That ain't a response to him.
Well, I feel like the fucking bitch, like, it's either one him hurt or just, it's the same reason why cops like it's the desensitization
So,
thing.
so
Like
cops can shoot
cops
people three
sometimes turn.
times and then say "fucking bitch."
I mean, he's a person. Sometimes it happens like that. Like
Yes,
he
he's
might
a
not. He could have
person.
been like fucking bitch for the situation because he didn't want to kill her. Like he might not have been calling her a bitch. He might have been calling the wife a bitch
That,
because
that,
to
that
be
ain't why he
completely
did
honest,
it.
the wife was the one the wife was the one instigating everything. Like honestly, if the wife wasn't there, I'm pretty sure Renee Good would have lived her life.
Let me ask you something. What you smoking? Cause it's good. It's that good shit, ain't it? Cause man, he got you running around in circles right now, bro. It ain't no goddamn way. It ain't no goddamn way. You listen. Okay, okay. In this world, the truth doesn't change. It's constant. It's everlasting. The Nazis killed X amount of Jews. Mussolini was real. We know these facts because they're facts and they don't change. If it was everything that was true that you say, that officer was internal bleeding, he was feared for his life. He said fucking bitch out of frustration or whatever the case it may be. Why they story keep changing? Why everybody's
It was an
story
invest.
keep changing on it?
It's an investigation. Like
I don't
there's
know. Y'all
always
said,
three.
wait, wait, wait.
There's three sides
Co-
to the truth. You know.
wait. COVID was pretty straight up, and everybody said, "Oh man, why does everything keep changing? Why everything keep changing?"
My
Eh,
theory
All,
about COVID.
all the facts keep changing. Well, if they were so threatened upon his life and he was in the hospital fighting for his life, why do the facts? Why do the president, the vice president, the DHS secretary, Christy Norm, why all these stories keep fucking changing? They done told 100 stories in the last 7 days.
Well, because it's being investigated. Like things have to happen. That's how they find out the whole story.
And you think the more we know, the more we see of that video, the more those excuses keep changing. It proves that she should have been murdered.
100%. Well, not. I won't say murder. I feel like the officer had a 100% right to defend himself.
That's some good stuff you smoking.
Okay. Put it in this perspective, right? And this is the wild thing about the American ideal is, let's say I really believe the police were tyrannical and I had some kind of inhibition towards it, right? I got 2 kids. What would make me get up and think that these people I'm calling murderers, that I believe, murder people constantly? Who in their right mind would get up and go antagonize these people? That's step one. Step two, we got to think about the fact that like Renee Good has straight up earlier that day posted stuff on her Instagram saying like, oh, like ICE can't do anything to you, like it is your right to fight against ICE, whatever. So she already believed she has some kind of like superiority complex against these federal agents. Whether you agree with them being right or wrong, there's
Priority
a proper
complex.
way there's a proper way to like work that litigation, and she wasn't doing that. And then on top of that, like, look at the disrespect they were doing. Like I won't say Renee Good wasn't that bad, but like look at her wife and look at the fact like in any other crime scenario, if I go with my friends and I had no idea they were robbing the bank, but the moment they get the money, I tell them to run. I'm an accessory. She was impeding police operations and trying to flee the scene, which is a felony. And she looked at him and said, "Drive, drive, drive." That's accessory.
So I just want to go back to the disrespect thing. You can kill people for disrespecting you. I thought that only happened to like 1,500 France when they were dueling or something. You can't say fuck ICE. And besides that, she wasn't saying fuck ICE. What she was saying was, go around. You go around. Oh, by the way, your theory about why he crossed in front of the vehicle because he couldn't see through. There's now his video, showing that that the window was clearly down. The dog was sitting out the back seat, not barking, just sitting there chilling, and he walked across. So I still got to go back to the policies and procedures. If you can see through the front window right there, and you have been, and now it comes out that she was sitting there way more than 30 seconds. I gave you 30 seconds last time. She was sitting there for like 2 minutes. And other cars, she was waving other cars out. She was like, hey, go around, go around. She was cheering out the window, go around. And other cars were going around. In fact, one ICE officer vehicle went around him already. They went around. They could have avoided the whole. We talk about all of that. The avoidance part is just it's just clear as day at this point. They could have just went around and continued the mission. In fact, she was waving them around. So was she really impeding them? I mean, they asked her to move, and that's what she was doing. She was trying to move, and then
Not
bam,
originally. She didn't
bam.
start moving to the wife said drive.
Uh,
You know that. She didn't move to the wife said drive, which means at that point she was fleeing because they tried to get her off
they,
the vehicle.
I'm going back to the point. They never should get out the car. They could have went
She
around
was
just like the
she
other
was still
officer,
committing a crime.
just, just like the other officers avoided that. He could have avoided that too. They could have all avoided that. They could have just went
But he
around.
doesn't have to. And they didn't have to. Like she was breaking the law, so he could have
They,
done what he
they
wanted.
don't have to, but they didn't have to go across the vehicle either. Cause he clearly saw across the window. He clearly saw through the vehicle, through the passenger side window. He didn't have to cross the vehicle either.
I'm willing to say if the wife didn't say drive, he would have just took her license plate
Wow.
and left.
Wow. He tried to open the door. They weren't trying to just get
I'm
the
saying,
license plate and left.
okay, hear me out. Was the vehicle stationary when he shot? Or was
The
it moving?
vehicle was moving. It was moving.
Okay. So we can agree that she broke the law because it was moving, correct? That's a
Go
binary question.
ahead.
It's a yes or no,
Yeah, go
right? She was
ahead.
breaking the
Yeah.
law. Okay. So would she have gotten shot if she didn't move?
Wish he have gotten a shot if the officers didn't get out the vehicle and just went around like the other officers did.
But she was breaking the law. That's why they got out the car.
Wish he be breaking the
We just
law if
agreed
they
on
had
that.
just if they just had got around the vehicle.
But they're
They could have
still
called
breaking the law
local
because
police.
she's sideways in the lane.
So once again, it's ICE's job to do traffic stops.
They have the right. You can be pulled over by the FBI 100%. Federal jurisdictions mean that I can do just about
It
anything.
keeps going to, and it should not be a problem. We can just do anything we want because the lady's dead, and we're arguing about it, and it's because they can do anything they want.
No, there's been federal officers that have before been like sent to jail, lost their jobs, etc.
And this officer should be part of that. He was careless. He was reckless. He
I think he feared for his life.
and hold on, and let's go back to he was on the job. An incident 6 months happened before him. Are there protocols to get him back in service? Because if you're telling me that this guy has PTSD, he shouldn't have been out there in the first place. His judgment
I
was
wouldn't
already
say he
off.
had. I wouldn't say it's PTSD. Like PTSD is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pat. It's like something you suffer from. This I would say constantly, but not. There's a difference from PTSD and the understanding of a situation and like knowing the worst probable cause. Because I don't think any cop wakes up like I'm going to get drugged by a car. But since it happened to him, he is thinking about that when he's in these scenarios. He's trying to avoid that from happening again.
Okay, for one, he wasn't on no door. He wasn't getting no drug. He wasn't getting drugged. He
His
wasn't
partner
even close
was.
to.
There was someone else on the door.
Uh, I mean,
Nah, that
I
dude
don't
had
think
already
having a
left.
mental health disorder can necessarily disqualify somebody from being in or doing their job.
I mean, if it involves bullets and guns, I think it should.
I mean, that's
Shouldn't that guy be properly reintroduced into the system? Maybe he should have been on desk duty for a little bit until he got straight. Because now he went out there and made a bad judgment call. And I get what you're saying. Hey, man, it's just that and the other. That guy made a bad judgment call. We all agree on that no matter what. Because the shot went through the windshield. The other two went through driver's side door. Clearly, he wasn't in danger.
I
Clearly,
feel
the threat has stopped.
I wouldn't say a bad judgment call. I
And
would
we
say a lack thereof training.
and
But yeah,
and we don't. A lady is dead because of lack of training. That is still a sorry excuse. It's a
well,
bad excuse. A lack of training for a loss of life. I'm sorry, that's not an equal trade off.
but at some point in time, like it's the accountability aspect. It's not like this cop woke up, with the ideology of I'm going to go shoot someone today. Like he didn't wake up with that ideology. Like there
I don't
is,
know.
it's
I don't
it's a
know.
cause and effect. You know what I'm saying?
They
If
want
she didn't drive, she
they
wouldn't have
want
got shot.
investigate. They won't let investigators talk to them. I don't know that fact.
I don't think
Well,
she
because they
woke up
haven't.
with the intention of trying to hit one of them with her car.
Exactly. She dropped her
But
kid off to
she,
school. No, no, no. Wait. You talking about intention? She dropped her kid off to school, and she had her wife. They saw ICE officers, and they had a dog in the car. You thought she was intending on getting shot, and she wasn't belligerent like they say she was. She wasn't a terrorist. She wasn't screaming and yelling. She was saying, "I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you." She told the officer that shot her, "I'm not mad at you." That's what she said. You say she's a threat, but she said, "I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you." She said that like 4 times and waved other officers around the vehicle. That's you want to talk about intent. I don't know, man. That don't sound like domestic terrorism to me.
I mean, she 100% had Facebook, Instagram posts like defying ICE and saying you don't have to listen to their orders because they're not lawful, this, that, and the other.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. So
And
now we're executing people on a basis of a post they made hours before something.
that's not what she was executed. She was executed because she drove a vehicle in the direction of an officer.
I think that stuff is being used against her because I have stuff right now
I got
that's on my
stuff.
page
No
that's
fuck yeah.
I'm
I
fucked
got
up. I'm
stuff.
fucked.
I got stuff on my page. Hey, y'all gonna justify that when some ICE officer shoot me?
Well, I mean, his history is being used against him.
Is
The
it?
PTSD, yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
PTSD,
shouldn't that be used against him? He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been
and
there.
she shouldn't have been there.
If he was scared that he was gonna get dragged, he shouldn't have been there. She lives there.
And he works there. Well, he moves to work because he's a federal agent.
I hear you. He's a federal agent.
Could
He got assigned to shift. He went out
could
there
that be a
work.
question of resources and people needing to work, through their ailments and stuff like that?
And we talked about this, and I want to bring up a point to you. You said that these guys are just going out there doing a job. No, it is not just doing a job. These guys are peace officers. That is a calling. You don't just jump into be a lawyer because, oh man, it's just a job. No, that is a calling. You don't just become a paramedic or EMT because, man, I just need something to do. That is a calling. So these guys that are going out there, putting on these weapons, putting on these bulletproof vests, calling themselves peace officers, ICE, enforcement, customs officers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, that is a calling. And if you're thinking that it's just a 9 to 5 job, you're already in the wrong business. You need to step
I think
away.
it's I think it's just a job. Like I am in the military. While I'm in the military, I needed a job and the Marine Corps was hiring. Why am I still here? Because the bonus looked nice.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And I think it's the same, and I think it's the same way.
And that shouldn't be that way.
100%. I'm in firm agreement to that.
It shouldn't
But
be that way. If you're there just to collect the paycheck, just man, I'm just gonna clock in and let me go take a break and man, we gotta go out there and do this, man. I don't want to be here. That is not the job for you because you're
but you can
dealing
still be
with
good at the job.
Think about
because
football though, bro. Think about our football teams. It's a lot of people that just wanted to wear the pads and
I get that, but that's football, and you can kill people with football, but you ain't walking around with a loaded 40 millimeter either. You ain't running around with a loaded AK either. They call those guys thugs. They call those guys gang members. So if you're telling me that you signed up because man, I needed something to do, my mama made me get out the house. I didn't have nothing to do out of college. You're in the wrong field. You shouldn't be there. That's just point blank. Period. That's why we end up with people getting shot 3 times on a call that could have went completely different, and we're arguing about it. That's how that shit
somebody
happens.
but somebody could enter in
But
there just thinking it's a job and then realize, oh, I can make something of myself and turn it around.
Okay, I'll give you that. That didn't happen this time. A life got lost,
yeah, but
and
and I'm not trying to
and and
value.
and now more lives are being lost too. People are just getting shot left and right now
I
because
mean, yeah,
it
but I'm saying that's the
is.
blame on American society. It's the mentality. Everyone. It's to a point where like you can be a martyr so easily. Like you can live forever. People think that cops won't do something. Like I forgot what TV show I was watching the other day, but it was based on in the 80s. And the cops came to the school to talk to this kid, and the kids just listen. But nowadays, you do that, some 12-year-old is going to tell you, fuck you, I got a First Amendment right. Defying the police is such a common activity of the American ideal, and we can't confine to just doing that. Like, and I'm willing to agree that all three of us can agree, like, especially as black men, because I'm willing to say if Renee Good and her wife were black women, the situation would have been 10 times worse. But I
So
can say that we all agree as black men, like police interactions need to go a certain way.
I'm gonna say that this is a symptom and not a bug. This is a symptom of the problem because whenever you go and you look at any police application, they ask for a couple of things. Prior military experience is right on the top. Maybe, just maybe, if we're having people call themselves peace officers, we shouldn't have guys that have been trained in the art of weaponry, in the art of
Disagree.
war.
Disagree completely.
I knew you would, but
What was your quote,
maybe
John
that,
T,
that
about the you said the police are like basically like the order kind of needing to be say that part again.
Like a police officer, if a police officer dies, you don't replace that police officer the next day. People have to work more hours to cover the shifts. If someone in the military dies, I am replaceable. I am expendable. I will be reinforced in 2 hours. They will find somebody
who
to do my
told you
job in
that?
2 hours.
Who told you that?
What do you mean? That's how it
Who
works.
told you that your life is expendable?
That's what I signed up for. It's called
That's
God, Country,
crazy.
Corps, Pray for War. Right?
That's
I might die
crazy.
today, but the Marine Corps lives on forever.
That's crazy that you. I get it, dying for a cause. I get it, but to say your life is expendable, that's maybe that is the crux of our problem. Every life is precious, not just because. Hey, look,
Oh,
I'm a grunt.
100%.
I'm a grunt. I can go in there and I can die and I can be replaced. Maybe that shouldn't be that way.
That's
Maybe
how
that
wars are
should be.
fought. It's called attrition. That's how wars are fought.
It's 2026. Why are we fighting wars and losing lives? Why?
That's just how things. Well, we're not, right now, technically, we're not fighting any wars, but that's just how things happen.
I mean, we went over in Venezuela, dropped some bombs. We dropping bombs on fishermen boats. We threatening Greenland. We dropped bombs on Nigeria. Russia's still over there fucking with Ukraine. Why are we
100.
fighting
percent
wars? Why are we fighting wars in 2026? What are we fighting
That's
for?
just, a lot of things. Venezuela, I can 100% agree with all the time. ICE, I can't even agree. Like, I just don't understand the what is it called? The political backlash and the ideology of doing things. Like, it's what is it called? It's the media. You know what I'm saying? It's propaganda. Like, Obama has deported more people than Trump.
That is a
Force,
fact. Let's let's
forcibly, by
let's
the way, forcibly deported more people than Trump. Trump
let,
got
let's
1.7 million people to freely leave the country with no force. 1.7 million people. That's the
let, let,
exact amount of people that were in the last presidency were deported by force.
let let's talk about that. Obama had more deportations. Do we like why does Obama have more deportations? I mean, he start.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm not sure. The Dreamers started under Obama too, right? The Dreamers program.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So why did he deport so many people?
Well, the biggest thing that, like, if you look at it politically, like on Obama's standpoint, was like the Middle East. He was 100% taking refugees for the Middle East from multiple countries. There are people from Iran, Saudi Arabia here on multiple accounts. They had camps set up on like the East Coast on like Camp Lejeune. I think there was one somewhere in New York. Don't quote me on that, but like that was his big thing. But he was still there's still like illegal Russian immigrants, illegal Mexican immigrants, and they are throughout every single presidency. Those people have been deported on a huge scale. It's just now it's being highlighted, and why is that? Like these same things will still happening, for the last 10, 15 years, but why is it being highlighted now? Because a Republican president decides to put it on the forefront burner.
I don't recall people going to Home Depot and jacking people up at
It just wasn't politicized. It's called propaganda. The media controls the world. That's why Trump
so you
tried to
saying
pick
that's
him
what it was?
100%.
Okay.
This the same way this Iran deal isn't being publicized because it looks good on Trump. Like everyone has the beef with Venezuela. They're like, oh my God, Trump went and he took the Venezuelan president and he captured them in this really good operation, by the way. That operation was tactically sound. Probably some of the best execution the military's done since the war in the Middle East. Just saying. But Iran has protesters that are literally killing, and Trump goes and sanctions them and said, well, he sanctions them. Any country that does business with them are going to be sanctioned. That's not being put on the news crazy like. Why? Because everyone could agree with it. Because Obama did the same thing. But when Obama did it, you know what I'm saying? It was, it wasn't put on the front burner. Obama, they captured 13 hostages. Obama straight up just had the military line up around their country and starve them to death for like 2 weeks. And they gave the 13 hostages. But that was politicized. But when Trump is doing stuff without actual war, he's sanctioning people using economics to stop protesters from dying in a different country. It's not put on the front burner. But the Venezuelan president is. It's just media, it's propaganda.
So we were going out there, taking people, just swapping them up and sending them out during Obama, Biden, and Trump. Trump just is the one that is loud about it, I guess, huh? That's what we're saying.
100%. You're not going to agree. Like, as a black man, Obama had to carry himself a certain way because, America is not like the angry black man. That's why he had to be intelligent. He had to be calm. Trump has the ability to be an angry white man. No one is scared of an angry white man. An angry white man looks like he's trying hard. He really has a cause. But if a black person does it, he's ratchet, ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So I can agree with that 100%. That's why, I didn't agree with Kamala, but I also didn't want Kamala to be president because I didn't want the black woman to be discriminated against the way she would have been in the country if she would have been president. Straight up.
I actually said Obama would be blamed for everything for the next 100 years. I said that. I agree with you on that. This is what I'm gonna say. We're going around Venezuela, Nigeria, Iran, and Trump doing the same thing here.
I
National
disagree.
National Guard has never been deployed in the streets for
It definitely
security
has.
purposes. Under
Definitely has.
Obama,
Rodney King. Not under Obama.
we got a Rodney King situation going on here in Washington D.C. What a Rodney King situation at?
I mean, we don't, but like that's a
We
problem.
don't.
Like, and
Chicago, we got a Rodney King situation going on.
no, but we have a huge violent problems in America. Period.
I know a white man that killed his whole family. So yeah, I guess
Hey,
so.
every 100% every 38 minutes is a murder being happening. Every 23 seconds
Mm-hmm.
is a violent crime being reported in the United States. What I'm saying is the nexus of this issue isn't the police force. The police force, I will say, it has become more militarized. They have become more tactical, more even more aggressive. But at the same time, the American population has become more defiant, more aggressive, more anti-police. And so it's one of those things where someone has to step down, and police could act the same way they're acting if people became just good Americans. Things would be different.
I thought the whole point was don't tread on me was rising up against the tyrannical government.
But is this government
I thought
tyrannical?
when they send National Guard troops to streets that don't need them, yeah, they are.
There were
What
riots.
there were riots in Washington D.C.
The only reason the National Guard was sent to
There were
Washington D.C.
riots in Chicago.
Yes,
There were riots in Chicago and Washington D.C. That's why he sent the troops there.
not
I
in
would I
DC
would
is
like to
bad.
see
I would
that.
say that DC happened.
You said
DC
riots.
happened because of
You said riots. You said it was a riot somewhere.
it happened in California.
I give you they get a little ruckus on the West Coast. They did start burning down stuff. I get it, but also rise up against a tyrannical government. But
I mean,
okay,
the tyrannical
but
government that still
Chicago.
gives you the right to free speech and the reason to have guns. If you want to say, okay, it's a tyrannical government, you need to stop voting Democrat. I'm not saying you are, but people need to stop voting Democrat because the Democrats want to take away your firearms. Therefore, you can't rise
What
up against the
Democrats want
tyrannical
to take
government.
away firearms?
All of them, AOC.
AOC wants to take away your firearms. She
Yes,
doesn't want to limit or impose more restrictions. She wants to take them away.
yes, they
Be
want
careful.
AR-15s to be banned.
Okay.
They want handguns to
I'll,
be banned. They want you to have shotguns.
you got to show me that. You have to show me that.
100%, I can show you that. You can look. I watch Congress almost every
Restrictions, new laws. Probably, not having people with, PTSD running around here with long guns. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see that. I'm not mad at that fact. That's a good thing. That's not a
people with
bad thing.
PTSD already can't have long guns, but continue. People with PTSD can't have long guns, but continue.
Okay. How many shooters in the last 15 years have had some kind of PTSD or disorder? Tim
I disagree
McVeigh was.
with that rule, but
You disagree with the rule.
yeah, like just what
a lot
what
of
the law
people
is
either acquire them for
about that.
somewhere else. I'll look it up.
Okay.
No, no, no. I'm saying the rule. I'm saying the rule is accurate. I'm saying I just disagree, like personally, because I don't think a disorder should disqualify somebody from whatever firearm they want to have.
It's not certain
You wanted
ones,
the Wild West out
like
here,
certain
huh?
disorders.
I mean, I have a take on drugs. Like I feel like I don't know what it is. It's a state in the West, in the Midwest, or something like that that allows most drugs.
Oregon. They allow
Oregon,
everything. They don't have illegal drugs in that state, I guess. I mean,
which
maybe
I
like
agree
one or
with.
two. Like one or two, maybe. I think
Right,
fentanyl is still illegal.
right, fent,
But
right, yeah, stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with it. Because after a while, they get to a point, just like we watching this show on, I think it's on Netflix, about these people in prison. They're doing 23 and 1, so they open up the jails. And the biggest thing they getting in trouble for is doing drugs. I'm like, they're not killing nobody. What is y'all tripping about? What are y'all?
Oh
What
yeah, I'm
are y'all
100% on
tripping
that.
about? Huh?
All right, I'm looking at the ATF. It's ATF form 4473 firearm transactions. Every time you buy a gun, you have to fill this out. Is this, have you ever been adjudicated as a mental defect, or have you ever been committed to a mental institution? That instantly means the ATF is being flagged, and you have to, which I don't agree with the ATF. It should be abolished, but means you can't, like, you have to do more paperwork and or do interviews to be able to own a firearm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So people with PTSD aren't buying guns; they're acquiring them illegally, the same way illegal people do.
Wait, I thought you said there was a rule. There was a written rule.
There is a rule, but you can. If I wanted to go find somebody to let me buy, if I didn't have the right to buy a gun, I can find someone that wants me to buy a gun.
Right. Which is my point about a lot of things. Like, why are we putting all these resources to? Oh, we need to stop people from buying illegal guns. Well, they just find another. They're gonna find another plug. So, okay.
Okay. I mean, if it's written, even if we did find those guys with guns and it's written, then we have a basis to take them away. But if it's not written, then they can own them legally anyway. That's how laws and everything work. You gotta have them written down and adjudicated and voted on.
I'm pretty sure in a lot of
Yeah.
cases,
Okay.
people doing organized crime, they have guns, and a lot of them, even big time
Are
ones,
illegal.
have records where they aren't supposed to have.
I
So
Yeah,
get
and if
that.
you and
I
if you
get
and
that.
if you want to talk about like shit being voted on, like the ATF is actually the only organization in the world that has been changing laws since 2020, since what 2012, been changing laws without government intervention. Like literally, that rifle that I had right there, the ATF woke up one day last year and said that rifle was illegal, and for 6 months it was illegal. I had to completely take it apart, or I was a felon.
Hey,
No
why
government
they
oversight.
why they just writing laws like that? Shouldn't they not be allowed to do that? I mean, they
Hey,
should,
but
right?
hey, you don't like Trump? The Democratic Party supports it. The Democratic Party
Democratic.
loves the ATF. They love the ATF.
I
That's who
guess
you're
so.
voting for.
I guess so.
The Democratic Party wanted to make me a felon for that
What does it
that's
do?
wild.
I can't see it.
because it's a technically, like, it's an ARP because it's a 10-inch barrel, right? But because it has the brace, it is it still qualifies as a pistol. But they tried to say this was a short barreled rifle. Like, how can you change the laws on me? This isn't a full brace. This is the law that y'all made.
Okay. I'm not arguing with you.
That's
I'm not
crazy.
versed on the ATF laws to argue with you. Uh, do I think, of course, it should be harder to get weapons of mass destruction. I mean,
But this isn't
that's
mass
just.
destruction.
I mean, how many rounds that hold?
30. The only reason this gun is as
One is
dangerous as it
enough.
is because of me. Because I know how to use this.
Oh
But
boy,
look at the guy that just
guns aren't dangerous.
went and
People
tried
are
to shoot up
dangerous.
100%. I promise you, if it came down to it, and I was in my bedroom and I didn't have my Glock sitting next to my bedstand, and all I had was a knife, I promise you, I'm coming out alive every single time.
I understand.
Every single time.
I'm not,
Look
I'm
at
not
Russia.
arguing
Russia
with you.
has mass stabbings. They have guns that are illegal, and then we get into it even deeper when it comes to like guns and getting guns and all this other shit. What is it? Australia. Australia guns are illegal. You know what else is illegal? The right to free speech.
Wow.
I'm not versed in Australia. Australia doesn't have free speech. Yeah, you can't
They do
say
not.
fuck the president. You
Nope,
can't say
that is
fuck the
illegal in
president of
Australia. Well,
Australia.
it's not illegal, but they don't have the right to free, like how it's constitutionally bound for us. They don't have a law that says you have the right to free speech in Australia, nor do they
Now,
have the right
now,
to own firearms.
now let's go back to the free speech thing. Like, you saying they can't display Nazi symbolism and shit like that? Because I mean, that should be illegal.
They can't.
I mean, that should be illegal.
I
I don't
disagree.
necessarily think it
If
should
you
be
want to be a hateful
illegal.
bigot, you can. If you want to be a hateful bigot, we can ostracize you. Like bullying works. I'm all about bullying. You want to be a racist, cool, but when nobody talk to you, you're just gonna be weird. You ain't gonna have no friends. If you
Okay.
ask me, social media is worse than law. Like, old boy, the ICE agent is never gonna. He has to work at ICE because he can never get a job anywhere else.
Not even at McDonald's. You're right. Somebody walking in, throw a fry at his face.
100%.
Absolutely.
Like he
Yeah.
can't. Like even if he works at ICE, I promise you, he won't be on the street for much longer. He's gonna have a desk job real soon because his
He
job's gonna
should.
get a
But
hell
he,
of a lot
the
harder.
bigger
He
question
shouldn't
is,
have
why
a
does he
job.
feel? Why do people feel like that? Like he's allowed to go get a job and be public and
That's just how it
or be
works. Like
He
if I'm an
public.
killed
independent
somebody.
person, right?
That's just like George Zimmerman and Kyle Rittenhouse. Like you killed some people. Like
Kyle
you
Rittenhouse
got
was
bodies on
right.
you.
Just saying,
Huh?
Kyle Rittenhouse was
What?
right all the way.
Was right.
George Zimmerman belongs in jail, but Kyle Rittenhouse was right.
So if your mom
Kyle
drops you
Rittenhouse
off in the
had
middle of
a
a
hell of a
town
point.
with a rifle, like your mom could drop you off in the middle of a town with a rifle and say, "All right, happy hunting, baby." Like really? He shouldn't have. Once again, it goes back to intent.
100%.
He shouldn't have been. We talk about intent. He was on social media selling out. Oh, damn! Next time, if I'm there, I'm gonna shoot
Like he
somebody,
didn't
and then
violate
he
the
shot
law.
somebody.
He didn't break the law.
He didn't break
Other
the
people
law.
did.
Slavery was once a law.
Now,
Rioting
I
is
believe
illegal.
two things can be true. I believe if, you know, in my belief, I have a higher power, but for philosophical terms, if there's a higher power, I would think that a higher power could think he was wrong in the intent because they would know that, but then on the grounds of law, absolutely didn't violate anything.
That guy got dropped off in a town that he wasn't supposed to be in with a rifle. I think he was hunting. I think he intended to kill some people that day, or at least walk around looking like I'm a badass and ain't nobody gonna mess with me. You know, it is a such
I don't
thing.
think that's
It
my
is
pay
such
grade.
thing as inviting
I
violence
think
to
that
you
part is
too.
above my pay grade.
I hear you. It might be above the judge's pay grade, but you're never gonna convince me that
Hey,
that
lay
kid
down. Lay
got
down. Get
to
off.
go to another community and with a gun and wasn't looking for trouble. He was inviting trouble. There have been
That's why
peaceful protests. There have been peaceful protests that whole week. It only got violent when he went up there with
But
a
that's why I
gun.
say, why do those people feel like they can't be back
You
in
lay
society?
down.
Or why does society kick those
Essence.
people out?
Lay down.
There's a reason for that part.
Well, because because he's a piece of shit murderer. He went to go hunt
But they
people.
were breaking the law. Like, where are we going to draw? Like, when are we going to
Whoa,
stop defending criminals?
once again, when are we gonna just start executing people in the street for breaking, I don't know, trespassing? You killed somebody last
But
week for wait. You killed somebody last week for a traffic infraction. Now trespassing, you just want to kill people. That's crazy to me. When are we just gonna say, hey, look, every life is precious and we shouldn't be doing this? Like you can go out there and protest
what
and
do you
do
mean?
whatever
Like,
you want.
there's forcible felonies. There's forcible felonies.
And
And
wait,
trespassing is a forcible
and
felony.
also, was it Kyle Rittenhouse' job to enforce the law?
When the police
What are
aren't,
we talking about?
100%. I'm telling you right now, if riots
What?
broke out in Gainesville, and you and Pat texted me and said you were in danger, I promise you, you'd have top flight security on the seat because I'd be there.
Facts.
We should be executing people for trespassing. We shouldn't be executing
Then people
people.
should follow the law.
We shouldn't be executing people for trespassing. We shouldn't be executing people for traffic stops.
Then if people obey the law,
It's the same thing as hey,
these issues wouldn't happen.
your tail light's broken. Your tail light's broken. You get pulled over. I've been pulled over for a broken tail light a couple of times, and they always say, "Hey, give me your license registration." And they come back and they say, "Oh yeah, we pulled you over for the broken tail light." And my whole thing was, why couldn't you just roll up next to me and say, "Hey man, your tail light's broken.
You ever heard
Take
of
care of
broken
that."
window theory?
Huh?
Broken window theory.
Go.
So broken window theory is this it's a theory the police use, and it's if you can prevent the broken window, you can prevent all crime, right? It's a psychological thing. It's if I'm everywhere, if I'm always pulling you over, if I'm always like you have a minor infraction, like a broken window, a broken tail light, and I pull you over and ask for your license, your ID, I make sure you have all these things. People get in the mindset that they will get pulled over so they don't break the law. That's why that's why like white communities are over policed because they believe in the broken window theory. And it works in the white community. There's so many police officers that people don't commit crimes because those neighborhoods are over policed. So they're just doing their job and trying to make things better because yes, you're a law-abiding citizen with a tail light broken.
That guy's just poor and he can't get a tail light. He's just getting to work early in the morning. That's what are we talking about? I get what you're saying,
100%, but that's the preventative. That's the de-escalation.
Now we're getting into time cop type shit. Like, hey, we're gonna prevent crime for pulling over this guy with a broken tail light. Like how many times does that work?
The only thing that I run into is if I wind down my window, I can give way to probable cause.
They basically can pull you over for anything, and I get that. But my thing is, how many people got to die from a broken tail light or a traffic infraction or trespassing for somebody to say maybe that isn't the right way to do things?
And those things don't make me want to open my window.
But my thing is
now I'm thinking twice, man. Why this cop pulling me over, bro? Like, okay, but we talk about why cops can't get replaced the next day by another cop, and nobody wants to be a cop because they do crazy shit like that.
Everyone hates the police. You can be a good cop and still be hated. But what I'm saying is, we look at these things and like, I hate the African. I hate the African American narrative and the way the police have to look at us because of things that my brothers and sisters did. But we look at the white community, we look at the crimes they commit, which I'm 100% about it. Yo, white people are kidnappers, and by statistic, right, they kidnap the most people below Asians.
They're running it after their own family members, you know.
Yep, and they're the next big mass shooters. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to violent crime, other than that, the forefront runners are African Americans. It's sad to say, but our black brothers and sisters don't do that.
Crime other than that, I mean, that's violent crime.
But when you look at violent crime in masses, so if we take in murders, shootings, assault, all that stuff, the leaders are African Americans. It's sad to say, but it is. And these things happen in our community because
I don't know, Pfizer killed more people than the cartels alone. Pfizer killed more people in 1 year than the cartels did in 50. What are we talking about? Purdue killed millions.
What are you eating?
What are we talking about?
Take my shoe out your fucking mouth. My bad. My dog's wilding.
What's that?
But I'm saying when it comes to like actual people, right? The individual action, African American
actual people. Purdue was ran by an actual guy who saw patents and saw what his drug was doing and said, no, mass produce it and get it out there. And he did, and he killed millions. He's still killing millions. So what are we talking about? Violence. Violence is violence. It don't matter how you get it. It's there.
No, 100%. But what I'm saying is individual actions. Like, yes, but his shit was approved by the FDA and so much before me was wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about the Tuskegee Project. You know, that shit was wrong with the American government did to African American people. But what I'm saying is at some point in time, we as individuals have to take some self-responsibility and pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps in our community and be like, hey, like, you're wrong. Why is it that most gang members are African American?
Pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. You got to first be given a boot.
And we have it. Like, what do you mean? Like, America is the only country where you can go from being generationally poor to being generationally wealthy. All you have to do is put in some try.
The question about the black community.
Like, people just have to try. Like, that's what it is. It's just the black community. We just don't. We are on a bad wave. And I hate to say it, but like black people really need to wake the fuck up. Like running from the police is not cool. Being a YN is not cool.
I will agree with you on all of that.
But the problem is so many people do that.
But what happens when you get shot when you pulled over for a traffic stop for a broken tail light? Are you going to trust the police more?
How many times have those people been 100% in the right?
A couple.
No. Yeah, a couple. But
A
when
couple.
the percentage lies on people being in the wrong, though, that's the thing.
Every life matters, right? That's why we
Every
have
every
policies and
life
procedures.
100% does matter, but I am a firm believer of you can't kill evil enough. Hey, every
Yeah,
life,
sometimes you give it a badge.
every time, 100%. There's no system we can make where every single person that joins the police department is 100% right.
And there's no reasonable expectation that regular citizens are 100% right. That's kind of crazy. Once again, that these guys get a career somewhere it's supposed to be a calling. They walk around with bulletproof vests, badges, guns, and they're allowed to execute people indiscriminately. That
Not
that's
indiscriminately.
crazy.
Like I said,
Indiscriminately.
every murder that a police officer commits, right? Every kill, even if it's lawful, is investigated as a murder, right?
Not
A
Sarah
police,
Good.
one,
Not Sarah Good.
her name is Renee Good, but by the way,
Not Renee Good.
but 100%, right? There's an IA investigation that either happened or is happening about it, but
No,
like,
it's not. No, it's not. They're shutting it down. They don't. That's why those sits. That's why those sits lawyers quit. That's
no,
why those
because
sits DOJ lawyers quit
what is it?
because there's not an investigation being happening.
It's Graham versus somebody. I forgot who it is, but what does the DOJ say about police officer shootings?
What do you mean?
The DOJ says something specific about police officer shooting. What does
I mean,
the Graham Supreme Court Justice case say? Nexus.
I know it ain't giving a complete immunity.
No, it says that the regular populace cannot investigate the what police officers do because of the simple reason that the civilian populace will never understand. And that's what people don't get. It's like you, and I'm not trying to like disrespect, you or
Aren't
Pat when I say
officers
this.
regular citizens?
No, they're not. They're peace officers. It's the same way, like me as an infantryman, right? I'm in the Marine
So
Corps.
they have
I'm
that
a grunt
title and they're held to a higher standard.
to a degree.
It can't be both ways, man. It's either you're held to a higher standard and you hold that title and you're above society, or you're just a regular citizen.
I mean, when it comes to appearances and their ability to break the law, yes. But when it comes to like shooting people and things like that, things are slightly different. Keyword
Because you
slightly.
because you have a not slightly different. You have a gun in a situation with power and authority. You're supposed to be above reproach. That's the whole point. You're the you're the person that knows better. You're the calmer head because you have a weapon that you know you can utilize
And people
to
have
take
weapons.
someone's life.
And people have weapons.
Uh,
There's three guns.
absolutely,
There's three guns
absolutely.
for every person in America. You don't think I think about that every time I pull
I
somebody over
am,
as a cop?
I am much calmer in my life now that I have weapons and I know how to use them. Absolutely.
100%. And I have weapons. I know how to use them better than the average person. And it doesn't make me calmer. It makes me more paranoid. It brings me more anxiety. I'm looking at everything. I'm
No,
looking. I'm looking at the guy that open carries. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, to me, he's a liability.
I get that, but for me, I'm calmer
Nexus.
because I know I have a
Leave it.
weapon on me that could change not just somebody else's life, but my life forever if I ever fire it. Like that. That's how that works. It's you are more careful with power, not more reckless. And I gotta get out of here too. My wife is texting me, but we're good right now. But yeah, we like with more power comes more responsibility. I mean, we've been taught this since we were kids.
I mean, yeah,
You
but
don't walk
this
around.
ain't
You
Spider
don't
Man.
walk around with power. See. That's why we got Trump, because Trump is paranoid with power. He has power, and he's paranoid that the power is going to overcome him. Like, no, you have that power. You have to use it benevolently. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
You're
but
not
this
walking
isn't this
around
isn't a
here.
perfect scenario. That's the thing. It's like you in real life, in a perfect world, everyone's obeys the laws. The cops only shoot someone when they egregiously break the law, but people don't work that way. Like that's a sad reality. I'm willing to say that if Americans were better people,
That is a very sad reality.
If Americans were better people, this shit wouldn't happen. Like we look at it majorly, and this is my beef.
Wait,
Is
wait,
it
wait. If Americans are better people, not the people who train with guns and call themselves
they
peace
just
officers are better
they want to
trained?
go they want to go home the same way everyone else does.
Once
But
again,
but but the
I
problem the
get
problem is
that.
the media dehumanizes the police. They dehumanize the military. The same way I'll give you one better, right? And this is the ideology, right? And this is crazy to me. Is when all that shit happened and the Marine Corps had to go to California, right? What did the civilian populace do to the Marine Corps? They called them
What
pieces
do
of
they
shit.
do?
They're like, yo, you're fucking wrong. Like you're a fascist. You're this, that, your other. They threw shit at them. They were like, yo, you should
When
quit
was
your
this?
job in California. You should quit your
When?
jobs
When?
when the Marine Corps was in California, like within the last 6 months, 7 months.
Okay, got you.
They said like, yo, you're a piece of shit. There were all these debates of people being like, you can deny your oath. You can do this. You can do that. I did the oath too. Like whatever. By the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the Marine Corps. I disobey a lawful order. Even if it's unlawful, what happens originally? I get NJP'd. I get look like a shit in front of. I look like shit in front of my command. I don't get paid, and my family suffers.
Once again,
But
you're
but but
talking
but people
about
but people don't look at it like that. The problem is that American society and the social media thinks they can look into some topic, know everything, and they sit here and they try to play someone else's shoes, but you will never understand.
oh, trust me, we've already discovered that with COVID and everything. What I'm gonna say to you is if you're saying that people are calling you pieces of shit and all this other stuff, you don't think it's because of the command that you're under and not yourself?
What I was thinking.
It was because President Trump moved the Marine Corps. Like I'm in no control of that.
Okay, but okay, so let me ask you: if you were given you said if you disobeyed the order, you would end up in trouble, basically, right? Your family would starve and all this other stuff. So what you're saying is the U.S. military conditions its employees, its soldiers, just to obey the order. So,
False.
like those boat strikes in Venezuela, like you know the law. You're saying, hey, listen, they got drugs on them, and you the guy pulling the missile. And you say, well, can we verify that it has drugs on it? And they say, no, just shoot it. You're just gonna shoot it.
Well, that's not what happened at all. But in that scenario, no, 100%. I've been on the range where dudes doing cowboy shit. That's what we call them in the military. It's cowboy shit. Like cowboy shit is not good to go.
Okay, I'm just
But
saying.
but
So
if
you
there's a
would
lawful
disobey an
order,
illegal order.
100%, I have a right to disobey in a legal order, but an illegal order can stand in court.
Okay.
But lawful orders cannot. I would go to, for example, right? If I was one of those Marines that President Trump wanted to pit in California, and I was like, "Hey, he's trying to impose habeas corpus, but I don't agree with how he's imposing it," and I said, "Hey, I disagree," I'd be in the brig right now, which is worse than federal prison. Like they're legally allowed to feed you bread and water, but
Okay.
you have a contractual obligation. It's not a regular job. It's a
So once again, you could be compelled to follow an illegal order or an unlawful order.
no. I've seen many people disobey unlawful orders.
Okay. I'm asking.
Like 100%, like lawful. Like I've seen some crazy shit happen, and motherfuckers be like, "No, I'm not doing it." But if it's lawful, it's lawful. You have to do it. And what I'm saying is it works almost the same way as the police force. Like once the American populace, right, the social media warlords decide that you are wrong, you become wrong in the people's eyes in no way, shape, or in every way, shape, and form. Like you there's no
Uh,
accountability, there's no logical thinking, there's no understanding. People looked at those Marines and said, "Hey, you're pieces of shit," and they didn't understand that all those people have a family to provide for. They have a career to live. They can't get kicked out on a dishonorable discharge and then turn around and get a job at Walmart. It doesn't work like that.
I
But
hear you.
people never understand, and that's what's wrong with America and do just, not just all around. And that's my beef with Renee Good is if people did the right human thing, if we protested better, if Renee Good and them had permits to protest, shit might have happened differently. but we're not doing that slight due diligence, the slight work to be better, to protect ourselves, to be better human beings, to be better Americans, to do this.
I gotta go. My wife is calling me, but I'm just wondering when they threw that boat over the T dressed as Indians, did they have permits?
No, but that was against
They didn't have. Okay, that was a different time. They were just doing shit just then. All right, gotcha. All right, hey, I gotta go. My wife is calling me. All
All right,
right,
boss
y'all.
player.
all right,
Yeah,
boss. I
yeah,
appreciate the debate. Y'all
yeah,
got me
yeah,
jealous.
absolutely.
Both y'all got dreads. I'm waiting to get out so I can get mine.
Heck yeah.
I hear you. Hey, we'll do this again. I like this, and it gives me something to do. My wife says it's productive. It gives me good energy, so I'm good with it. All right. So
I'm glad. I'm happy, brother.
yeah,
Heck yeah.
I'll see you next time, man.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, take
God
it easy,
bless.
man.
All right. See you.
This is what I was gonna ask.
Get out of here.
So I pulled up,
Yeah.
and it's more. I mean, it doesn't have to be taken spiritually, but philosophically, maybe. Not many of you should become teachers, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness, or to whom much is given, much will be required, and things like that. Leaders are accountable for how they use authority, kind of philosophical approaches.
Got it.
A lot of it does come out of morality, spirituality, religious based ideas, but at the same time, there are other people. I mean, you might even dig into Plato or something, for instance, that might have things about harmony and agreement versus, chaos, disorder, and kind of what we see, like you said, with the intrusion, what it feels like intrusion of social media. But thinking about the principles of peaceful philosophers, how do we put all that together as it relates to military orders, presidents, this crazy line between, do I do this or do I go to military prison, or all this stuff like that? How do we judge it all?
I mean, yeah, 100%. And at some point in time, like I'm in firm agreement. I don't know if you know about the 24th, the 34th. I don't remember. Army regiment, like some crazy shit happened with them, and like I agree they are right in some capacity, but it's just like everyone's not a martyr. That's one, but like there has to be martyrs. But when you look at it, like in the grand scheme of things, like there are things that are like right and wrong, and like there's people that just either one won't do it because they have to provide, and then there's other people that just like you look at the whole thing that happened in California, like no one disobeyed that order because it was lawful and it was in term correct by like the American law. And like protesting the individual, and that's the problem American has. They will protest the individual. They will go and protest and not call their senators. They'll go and protest and then turn around and not vote. That's the crazy part. But then like there's no justification, there's no reasoning like why the fuck are we protesting if we're not doing our due diligence? And that's the problem wrong with American society is everyone thinks I can hold up a sign, get some clout, show up, stream it on Instagram, make some friends and whatever, but not do the due diligence. Like, hey, I
And
write my
political science
senator
and
once a year.
political science data would say blue side does that. And that's a lot of the reason why you hear more public outcry of people that might not even have voted. And then, but it's like, why is the world this way?
Exactly. And I don't understand the justification. Like, and it all comes down to the American ideology and due diligence. And like, and I resort all this back to the black community because I have, as an African American male, I have so much beef with the black community. Like, I want us to do so much better, like
Right.
so much better. And we're slacking, bro.
We are.
I hate to say it, bro. My brothers and sisters are not doing their due diligence. Like I thought in 2026, we would be doing better, and we're not.
Mm-mm.
Like they let the quarter zip movement, get them for 2 months, and now we're back to being YNs. And it's like, I love the quarter zip movement. Let's do it. Black fatigue is real. I'm African American. I got black fatigue. That shit's fucking annoying.
Oh yeah.
And it's just that ideology, that mentality has to leave. We need to build generational wealth. You saw my post on Facebook. I made a thing about it, about like the difference. And it's like,
Yep.
things in the black community that comes from our ancestors that are alive or dead are just toxic. Are we real? It's toxic. And we got to change. But no one's willing to be the change. And that's the problem. You can complain about systematic oppression, but then you stay in the system. You don't do anything to change it.
I got a soapbox about why are we wearing Louis Vuitton and all this stuff. People don't even know that's owned by the French man over there.
But I feel like if you have the money, there's no problem with that. But the problem is you'll live in a 1-bedroom apartment and wear Louis Vuitton. Like, no. Let's go buy a house. Let's get our house paid off so our kids live rent free. Like, let's do something. Like, everyone clowns the 30-year-old fat white dude for living with his mom, and they split the mortgage. They split the property taxes, but at the end of the day, he makes 6 figures and lives with his mom. And he does that because he doesn't have a wife. So there's no point of him having his own house. And he sits there and he pockets money. And then he buys his own house when he turns 40 with his fat wife. And now his parents die. And now he has their house and his house. And they rent their house out to pay his mortgage. And so he's basically living rent free for his entire life. But in the black community, when you're 18, you got to get up and go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. Like, we got to do better, bro. Like, black people need to do better. We need to do some public financial classes. We need to critically think. We got to be better. Like, I am all about gun ownership. All about it. But we can do it better, bro. Like,
right.
And whatever YN is watching this on live, like, hey, switches are tactically ineffective.
Facts.
Like, and I want to do it. I want to do it so bad. Like, I want to get out the Marine Corps, so I have no affiliation, and I really want to go to like the ghetto, as some would say, and I want to teach you how to shoot weapons the right way, teach them some safety handling, and see the outcome. I feel like a lot of this just comes from the ideology of like the black community, mothers specifically, because a lot of black people are single parents. And we don't even want to touch on the way black people have unprotected sex, because that pisses me off on a whole nother level. We like, if they use guns properly and if guns were like an okay thing in the environment, I'm willing to say that they would be better. Violent crime would be less. Like, I'm a gun fanatic. That's my tism. Like, I can tell you everything about guns. But when I grew up, my mom hated them. I wasn't even allowed to have toy guns, but now it's my hobby. I do it on my free time. I build guns, I shoot guns. And I would say it's because it wasn't allowed to me. But if it was a normal thing when I grew up,
right,
I feel like it wouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing in the black community. Like, black mothers don't want people to have guns. They don't want their kids to go into that society, so guns become, a fetish. But I feel like if we change that, like, we could really change the community. And when you understand, like, when you really get into guns, you understand the inherent risk of carrying a gun, of someone else having a gun, of all this other stuff. Like, I'm in the Marine Corps. I'm all about it, but I don't want to get into a gunfight, because I will, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to, because I'm probably going to die. I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have no kids, got a dog. That's it. But my dog will be fine. My husband will take care of him. But if I had kids, I wouldn't be having the same mentality. But people don't, the black community doesn't get it that way at all. We need a wake-up call for real on just being decent people. And the problem is like, acting like that is hype now. That's all I see on TikTok. Even white dudes trying to be black, trying to be ghetto, trying to pop off, scream, yell. Like, we ain't got to do that. Like, what is it? FDR, speak softly and carry a big stick. I'm not talking crazy, because if my stick ain't no club, it's 9 mil.
Right.
But we're not on that same ideology.
Some people are. There was a dude out in Tampa going viral for a while because he was putting his kids on at a young age for taking the guns apart, putting them back together and stuff.
I mean, no, there's this black lady on TikTok I follow. All her kids know how to shoot, and she quite literally says like, "This is the wrong house to break into because all of us will shoot you." Like
Right.
me, my husband, and my I think her youngest daughter's 11, and then
Right.
she even like she pits her daughter on to gun handling more than the son because she understands she's a woman. And she's like, yo, when you're 16, you're legally allowed to carry in these environments. When you're 18, you can carry in these environments. So like you need to be proficient because you're a young lady in society. But
Yeah.
we're not doing it due diligence. And it's like if I feel like if all Americans had some basic weapon handling, some basic understanding, if more Americans carried, mass shootings would stop. You know, crime to a certain violent crime at least would stop.
What about open carry in the public school system? Teachers.
I disagree with open carry all day, every day. Because as a person that knows weapon handling all the time, like I would never do it, obviously, but it factors in my mind. I'm like, I could take this dude's gun. This motherfucker 120 pounds soaking wet. Like, you're my bench. You're my warm-up bench. Like, I can 100% take your gun, push you away, and it'd be a problem. But concealed carrying, I'm about all day. I think actually, like, I think it's wild we have AI, but we can't make gun safes where the front office can open them. I feel like I wouldn't say every teacher, but I would say in like a hallway, 2 to 3, maybe 4 teachers have a safe that's locked onto a system with some kind of switch where if something bad happens, they can unlock the safe electronically and only electronically from the front office.
I feel like that's an idealism where, yeah, in a perfect world, that could be very effective. But I could barely find a principal on any campus I go to because they bouncing around, they have stuff to do.
Well, it
And
doesn't have
then
to be the
there's
principal.
somebody else that got lunch, a database lady have lunch, and they have to be relieved by one of the other admin because such and such them took it off work and this and that. It just
I mean, yeah, but it can be like, the front office where you walk in, there's always at least one lady there, one dude there. It just needs to
yeah.
be there. And then maybe like a backup switch with somebody, like maybe the principal has one that works off of Wi-Fi or I don't know,
I
but
mean,
there's some.
the technology is there. I'm not saying the technology is not there. It's just the logistics because working in any public school system, it just even if it's the front lady, that could be easily duped because so many people go in and out of a big school. Is just and those badges are so easy to make, bro. You could just you know
I mean, yeah, but it could be something even like the resource officer, he could do it from his. He has an extra button, one for his mic for his radio, and then another one that unlocks the safe.
I could
And
see that being the case because they supposed to be the first line of defense anyway.
yeah, 100%. And it's like things like that have to happen. And I feel like America, like school shooting would stop. I disagree with school shootings. I'm anti-gun control to a certain extent. Like I'm in firm belief, me as an American citizen, I should be able to buy anything the military buys. Like if I want to buy an F-35, I should be able to buy it. If I want to buy missiles to pin on it, I should be able to, because I should be able to come against the tyrannical government. What should make me illegal is my ability to use it. I should be able to have an F-35 and it sit in the hangar if it comes down to it, but I can't go fly it.
Right.
With missiles at least. I should be able to fly it without the missiles, but with the missiles,
Yeah.
different story.
But the
And
thing about the school shooting stuff, something to consider is, that guy down south, there was a massive amount of bullying going on, and no kids at the school were surprised.
yeah, but it's one thing. It's like it's weird because when it comes to things like that, no one ever knows. Like that's just how it goes. But also, it's like people shouldn't be taught tactics; they should be taught weapon handling. Like that's the big problem with America nowadays, especially as a person that's like, I'm on the gun YouTube and gun TikTok. Like,
Hmm.
there's dudes on YouTube teaching tactics. Like, that's crazy to me. It should just be weapon handling, weapon safety, whatever. Tactics need to be like thrown back, but they're teaching tactics because the fear of the tyrannical government.
I'll say this. what if there is data? You know where I work. What if there was data that states kid surveys when they talk about if they feel like they're peer to peer, like student to student, if they feel like the kids around them care about them, it is a fraction of the percent of maybe like, for instance, what they feel about teachers and stuff. But it's significantly low.
I mean, yeah, but if we make it where it's like, okay, we're using it as a justification for, oh, I think they're going to do a school shooting. What point do kids weaponize it? Like, I'm in firm agreement. Like, I believe like a 16-year-old, 18-year-old, even 20-year-old Jonte is not 25-year-old Jonte. I'm 24. I turned 25 in a couple months. Yo, the way my prefrontal cortex is developing, like, it's different. Like, I'm so much more calm, so much more thoughtful. And like kids are in the same boat. Like, at what point do they weaponize it? You know?
It might be the same ones that write a in a similar pathology of people that write a suicide note, because there's an irony behind that. It's like, wait a minute, you know
I mean, yeah, but what if it comes to like there's this the football quarterback, he's super popular, he's super nice, everyone loves him. He breaks up with this chick, and then he's like, "Yo, make sure y'all vote her of like bad, so she looks bad for the narrative, and looks like she's gonna be a school shooter. Her life becomes harder. Like, when does that narrative come into play?
there's a lot of people that pin stuff on people now, even with the sexual assault cases, and there's a lot of people that can say things about teachers, and then teachers have to take administrative leave, and then they get cleared of charges. And
I mean, yeah, 100%. But it does happen less with kids. I can agree with that, but it still happens to some extent. And that's the problem. It's like if we do it that way, there has to be some kind of investigative purposes that have to be like sure to due diligence. And then there's like, hey, I'm in firm agreement. Like, perception is not reality. Like, and we can look at it with the Renee Good thing. Like, what we see in the initial video from one perspective, that might be the actual that happened from a different perspective. Perception is not reality, but that's how people think. Like, you get your no, and if things are never pushed out, like, it has to be bad. So are we gonna have other kids read a sexual assault case, read a I thought this person was a school shooter case, and sit there and break it down? Like, no, we're just building trauma responses. But like it should, but I'm in agreement. It should be a thing. America needs to understand how to do that. We look at everything top down. We're not breaking down these metaphoric analogies. We're not sitting here and critically thinking. Like, the education systems, and we talked about this, is absolutely ruined. Like, you brought up privatized education. I ain't gonna lie, I was against it, but I sat there and I started thinking about it when you brought it up, and I was like, you kind of got a point. But like,
oh,
it also, my beef is also with privatized education. Is like, some people won't get as good of an education, and there's just got to be some kind of system, some kind of something
I agree. I'm
to
gonna
make
I'm gonna
it.
plug that. I'm gonna plug that at the end of the live. I'm gonna go off live and we can still chat for a little bit. I'm fine. But what? Because I want to. Yeah, those are a lot of topics for sure. To really dive into. But I'm gonna wrap up the live. Hang on.